They say the scariest monsters are the ones who seem ordinary. Meet Jeffrey Dahmer, the Milwaukee Monster. In 1991, police entered Jeffrey Dahmer's apartment expecting a routine arrest. Instead, they uncovered a nightmare, a killer whose crimes shocked the world. He wasn't just a murderer, he was the Milwaukee Monster. Jeffrey Lionel Dahmer was born in 1960. As a child, he was described as quiet, awkward, and extremely shy. But there was one thing that made him come alive: dissecting dead animals. Cannibal and necrophilia were also noted as early as age 14. Later, his parents divorced. His father married again and moved out of town while Jeffrey stayed in the family home with his mother. His mom was an unpredictable, volatile individual, and she and Jeffrey had a tumultuous relationship. She was manipulative and used her son as a psychological punching bag. All this drove him deeper into isolation. He began abusing alcohol, and his behavior grew darker. The once animal-loving boy was now fantasizing about controlling other humans. His first victim was a hitchhiker he picked up in 1978. He invited the guy back to his place and bludgeoned him to death, dismembered him, and disposed of the body. Then it happened again and again. From 1978 to 1991, Dahmer killed 17 young men. He lured his victims to his apartment with promises of money or drinks. He would drug them, then strangle them to death. But he didn't stop there. He kept their bodies, sometimes for weeks, engaging in necrophilia and cannibalism. He also took Polaroid pictures of his victims before and after death, preserving their memories in a horrifying way. The police had no idea what they were dealing with until one day a victim managed to escape. The young man ran for his life from Dahmer's apartment, knocking on every door until someone finally let him in. When he told them what happened, they immediately called the police. What they found inside Dahmer's apartment was unthinkable. They found human remains, some preserved in a refrigerator and others in a freezer. One officer said it looked like the set of a horror movie. There were also 150 photographs of his victims in various stages of undress and several empty plastic bags. It was later discovered that the smell of decay coming from the apartment had actually been reported several times, but it was always ignored or mistaken for something else. As investigators delved deeper into Dahmer's activities, they found that he had been taking chemicals to preserve the bodies and make them look like waxworks. He had been cutting the bones to fit them into particular shapes and sizes, almost like a macabre puzzle. But why? Why did he do all of this? We may never know the full extent of what went on in his mind, but we do know that he was obsessed with control. He wanted to keep his victims close to him, even after death. He told the police that he wanted to be a monster, and a monster is exactly what he became. Jeffrey Dahmer was charged with 15 counts of murder. He pled guilty but insane, saying that he didn't know right from wrong. He received 15 life sentences plus 40 years. But in 1994, his life ended. He was beaten to death by another inmate who said he was tired of people calling him Mr. Nice Guy. So what can we learn from the Milwaukee Monster? That evil can hide in plain sight. Dahmer was known in his neighborhood as a quiet guy who kept to himself. He was even described as polite and friendly, and yet behind that facade lurked a monster. If your neighbor is acting strangely, don't ignore it. Trust your instincts. Remember, the neighbors of Dahmer's victims often saw the young men enter his apartment, but they assumed everything was fine. But it wasn't. We hope that by sharing these stories, we can help prevent similar tragedies from happening. If you or someone you know is a victim of stalking or harassment, please reach out for help. Resources are available to support you. So if you see something, say something, and don't ignore those red flags. You could save a life. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments. And if you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell, because the next case is just as chilling.